Yeah, good morning and welcome to another episode of Crime Pays a Botany Doesn't. Today I'm coming to you from central southern Tasmania, an elevation of about, 690 meters. So we're going to go up here, we're going to look at some interesting plants up here in this, these rock formations. We're going to see what's going on, hopefully see a basal member of the iris family. Looking down at the ground in here, you can see it's very waterlogged, very boggy. You got basically a small creek running down the center of the path. You can see there was a fire here at some point. All the eucalyptus is burned. Got our old friend cutting grass, Ghania grandis, cyperaceae right there. Very painful to walk through, especially when it's just a monoculture of it. Also got button grass, another member of the sedge family, Cyperaceae, Gymnocoenus spherocephalus right there. And we got a bunch of more stuff we're going to see along the way, so let's go check it out. Okay, might as well have a go at it, give the plant community here some recognition. Got Banksia marginata germinating, or not germinating, but coming back after a fire. These can get upwards of, about 12 feet tall. That's a new growth. Beautiful rusty orange on that new growth. Down here we got Bauera rubioides cunoniaceae, very common plant all over the island of Tasmania. Got a species of a Sprangalia, one of the Epacarids, very species-rich subfamily of the blueberry family Ericaceae down here in Tasmania. A little too species rich. So much so that they're kind of a pain in the ass to key out. Even down to genus, because there's just very minute differences in the flowers. Over there we got a species in the family Delineaceae in the genus Hebertia. It looks like it might be Hebertia prostrata. It's one of the prostrate Hebertias, but denoted by the yellow flowers. Hebertias, of course, grow throughout Australia and New Caledonia. I believe there's a few in New Zealand. Are there some in New Zealand? Maybe not. And we, of course, have quite a few here in Tasmania as well. Named after Dr. Hibbert from The Simpsons. Alright, so you could see all the different rocks here, which I believe are mostly sedimentary or metamorphosed sedimentary rocks. Again, we just got button grass and then burned eucalypt. Some of them coming back, resprouting. Just a boggy uphill slag. Oh, that felt nice. Oh, it's starting to hail. It's rain with a little bit of hail. which from what I hear is very typical of summer in Tasmania. We're about, I don't know, it's December, what is it, 14th? We're about a week away from the solstice here. From the Tasmanian summer solstice. Tasmanian summer bash. Oh, that's nice. You can see sun over there. That's what I hear, you know, it'll be cold and rainy one day and then hot as hell the next. But look at that, nice billion-year-old piece of sandstone. That might even be metamorphosed sandstone. That might even be quartzite. Very beautiful rock. And I can't move it, so that probably goes down another couple feet into the soil right there. Nice Springalia, too. The weather kind of went shit pretty quick, you know. Anyway, what are the Murbellioid peas right here? What are the quote-unquote poison peas? Tribe Murbellii of Fabaceae, of the Faboideae subfamily. Kind of almost looking like a juniper. You can see kind of ericoid foliage. Not too, I guess a little folded in. Maybe a little bit revolute. Ketchup and mustard flowers, and incredibly toxic. And all those stamens inside that keel petal. Remember, they have a banner wings and keel. All the stamens inside that keel petal are distinct. They're not fused as in many members of Faboideae, the subfamily. And the fruit just has a single bean inside, a single seed. Okay, I gotta get the Bodega umbrella out here, you know, from the New York Bodega, my $6 umbrella, so that I can film without destroying the camera I'm filming on. Anyway, we got some eucalyptus flowers right here. Oh, that wind's fucking with the umbrella a little bit. Jesus Christ. It's kind of tricky. Anyway, we got some eucalyptus flowers here. Looks like it might be Eucalyptus nitida. Look at how tiny these guys are. Look at that. Myrtaceae is the family here. Did you know eucalyptus was in the guava family? Myrtaceae? But it's in the woody fruited clade, the woody fruited group, which are all evolutionarily related. And the berry fruited clade, the squishy fruited clade is of course a different group, which guava is in. Anyway, volatile oils, of course, we're talking eucalyptus. You can see the inferior ovary. The petals are gone. The petals form what's called an operculum, which is a little cap. This is just typical eucalyptus flower morphology here. And there's those dozens of stamens almost blocking out the central nectary disc, which is what attracts pollinators there. And then in the center of that disc is a style, which when it receives pollen, then pollinates, then that style, you know, helps get that single-celled pollen tube down into that ovary, pollinating the fruit, and then you get a little woody capsule with a bunch of tiny seeds inside. And you can see this species doesn't get very large anyway. Some eucalyptus only get a foot or two tall, and then conversely you have Eucalyptus regnans and Eucalyptus globulus, which can get upwards of 350 feet tall. So there you go. Very diverse group, very diverse genus, the eucalyptus. You know, I'm really loving this sandstone, this white sandstone, this white billion-year-old sandstone. And this right here is a very interesting plant. This little monocot, you can see it just starting to send up an inflorescence right there. We actually got one going off up here. Extremely well-known member of the order Asparagales, same order as asparagus and agave. This is Blandfordia punicea. Oh, yeah, even in the cold, chilly rain, still looks beautiful, and it's still doing very well for itself. Look at that. 3 sepals, 3 petals, 6 stamens, and a somewhat bizarre-shaped 3-lobed ovary in there. See that green ovary with that yellow stigma waiting to get dusted with pollen? So you'll have a 3-lobed capsule when it goes to fruit. Look at that. Obviously, bird pollinated. See those red tubular flowers? Look at the nice bracts, the nice protective bracts on this fancy bastard too. Do you consider yourself a fancy bastard? I'm kind of a slob, okay? I'm kind of a blue-collar mook, but I can be fancy too. Sometimes, you know, when the situation calls for it. Blandfordia punicea is fancy all the time though, okay? Handsome, dapper, gorgeous. Look at those bracts again. Flowers maturing from the bottom up. Beautiful raceme. Look at the leaves too. Look at that nice parallel venation on those flattened leaves. Oh. Look, it eased up. Look at that. Weather eased up. Still kind of gray, but it did ease up. It's not pissing anymore, not hailing anymore. Standing in the middle of the trail, which is actually just a little bubbling brook right here, a little running creek, we're looking at a female individual in the genus Alocasia, which is more closely related to oaks than it is to pines. In fact, it's not a conifer at all, even though that foliage kind of looks like it. Okay, so what you get those photosynthetic stems, vestigial leaves. I don't even see any here. They're mostly at the nodes. If they, well, maybe there's a couple right there. See those nice vestigial leaves? Oh, this camera isn't focusing. You know, it's kind of hard to, I'm trying to like hold an umbrella with my shoulder while I'm standing in the middle of a wet trail. My shoes are soaking wet. And anyway, so Alocasia, they look like pines. Many of them are invasive in the southeast United States. All right, really incredible group though. Got nitrogen-fixing bacteria in their roots, and they're dioecious. So plants are either male or female. So these red flowers, those are all those red stigmas you'll see right there. Again, the camera won't focus, god damn it, but I'll just post a photo. Oh, there you go. That's better. So this will mature into what the fruits even look like pine cones. This will mature into what's called an infructescence, which is just a compound fruit with a bunch of tiny seeds inside, tiny winged seeds that drop out of the slits, and the slits on that little woody cone-looking thing will open when exposed to fire. So another plant that's highly adapted to fire. In a very species-rich genus like eucalyptus that occurs throughout much of Australia and on up into Papua New Guinea. Oh, God, there's something about bird-pollinated monocots. Bird-pollinated monocots that I find so alluring and fascinating. You know, nice button grass that inflorescence just, spent inflorescence just photobombing this Blandfordia. Look at the bracts, too. Leafy bracts just going halfway up the stem. What a banger. You ever heard of Dorianthes before? Really cool genus, also in Australia. Another weird member of Asparagales. And another bird-pollinated monocot. I remember seeing one. See, look, now there's blue sky. I was just getting pissed on with freezing rain. Now there's blue sky. Saw Dorianthes. I think it's in Queensland. Maybe it's New South Wales. I forget. Saw Dorianthes at the UCB Botanic Garden. Gets about, it's kind of like this, but it gets about, I don't know, 12 feet tall. Looks like a giant phormium. Really cool plant, that Dorianthes. I think it's used in cultivation on the mainland quite a bunch. Agastaches odorata right here. Proteaceae. You can see it responds to fire. Is that new growth? You got an inflorescence forming. I think that's just new growth. Red anthocyanin pigments protecting that new growth, that new veg. There's another one there. And a wonderful Epacris. Look at that. Ericaceae. Dainty little flowers, dainty little white bells. 5 petals. Connate halfway up the corolla. What do the sepals look like? Not much for sepals. Very small. And inconspicuous. And there's those deep brown anthers. Yeah, you could obviously see how that's Ericaceae, you know, but then you look at like Richia pandanifolia, which basically looks like a 20-foot tall yucca. And, you know, you just ask yourself, what the shit? What happened there? Technically a blueberry, but you know, certainly an odd one. This Bombus, he was just trying to hump my leg. Now he's going for the Epacris. Get in there, guy. You don't got to do the buzz pollination thing with this clade of Ericaceae. Yeah, work it. Work it. Damn. That thing probably packs a mean punch too, you know? Maybe like some of our North American Xylocopa. How are you out right now? It's got to be so chilly. Most schizophrenic weather that I've ever seen. Literally 5 minutes after the freezing rain, the sun's out, the blue sky's out, everything looks dapper and wet, and there's that big chunk of white sandstone. Mildly metamorphosed, perhaps. Maybe not. I couldn't really tell. I think it's just so fucking old that, I don't know, who knows. Look at the layers. That's billion-year-old layers of ocean sediments that are now tipped up at a 45-degree angle. Oh, beautiful. Those white sands. You want to go to a white sand beach? There you go, right there. It's nice to get all that blue sky, but it looks like we might be getting more weather down the way. So we got a little bit of a window. And speaking of weird members of the blueberry family, we got a member of the genus Dracophyllum. Another one of those epacarids, those southern hemisphere heaths, those southern hemisphere blueberries, differing from the genus Riccia because the flowers on this actually open, whereas Riccia has completely fused shut corollas. You can see this has those beautiful pink bracts with the parallel venation and then completely open white flowers. I've seen Dracophyllum in New Caledonia, which again looks like a monocot. You know, it's a rosetted thing. It looks like some sort of weird Dracaena or yucca. Look at this fucking thing. God damn. Dracophyllum milliganii. Look at that. God damn. It just blows my mind. The thing is so gorgeous. Look at how those 5 petals. Those 5 petals. Look, this one's got 6. Looks like mutant. Look at how those 5 petals just recurve. And then all those stamens are inside that perianth. Could this also be bird pollinated too? Probably a lot of stuff hits this actually. Probably that giant ass that bumblebee with a big ass, you know, that was probably going at this. I don't see why not. It looks somewhat like that Epacarus. Such a beautiful panicle. Some schmuck was trying. I shouldn't say schmuck. Probably a very kind person. I'm sorry, but some gentleman, some gentle person, gentle woman, whatever, was trying to merge Riccia into Dracophyllum because but I think the DNA didn't provide enough resolution or something, so it shows they're both very closely related, but that whole having a fused corolla thing, you know, having an operculum is a big enough difference. You know, merging Riccia into Dracophyllum would obscure the evolutionary story. You know, I gotta stop. I'm saying it lightly. I'm sorry. No one's a schmuck. I'm sure the person's fucking great. I'll buy them a burrito. Whoever merged Riccia into Dracophyllum, I owe you a burrito. Or a toasty, whatever they call them down here, you know? I say this stuff not thinking, and then it hurts feelings, and then I feel bad, you know? I feel really bad. It's Catholic guilt, whatever you want to call it. You know? Just running my mouth. You know, gotta remember, not everyone grew up with a traumatized childhood, you know, that just splurts out the rough around the edges talk, thinking it's not going to hurt feelings. But that's what I do that, you know? And I feel bad about it. I'm sorry. Look at this one. God damn. Ah, what a banger. Right next to a Blandfordia. Blandfordia there. See the old flower stalk. And there's that Dracophyllum. God damn, that's incredible. That thing's so lovely. So lovely, as they say down here. So soothing. Unlike that weather, which is coming our way. Ah, there's the weather again. We got a dainty little paper daisy, dainty little nephalioid right there. Those aren't daisy rays. They're not ligules. Those are just phyllories. They're just bracts. You got that fuzzy stem. Helichrysum is the genus here. Okay, quite a few Helichrysum. You can see just forming a little rosette. There's another one sending up many flowers. Do you know how odd it is to turn your phyllories into such showy floral attractants? Which is what all the paper daisies do. Because they don't have any ligulate flowers. They don't have any ray flowers. That's Asteraceae morphology we're talking here. You got disc flowers, you got ray flowers. These don't have any ray flowers. They just got the discoid flowers. So what are you going to do to attract pollinators? You got to do something showy with those phyllories. You use what you got. And that's what the paper daisies do. God damn it. Here we go. Here we go with the weather again. And then for the star of today's episode, one of the most fantastic plants and a total endemic to Tasmania. One of the most fantastic plants on the island, Isophysis tasmanica. Look at that. A deep purple to those flowers. 3 stamens, 3 lobes to that style. All right, not even getting very tall. And there's those beautiful glaucous blue sword-shaped leaves with the parallel venation. Iris leaves are so distinct. For a monocot, you know? The iris family in Tasmania only has, I think, 7 species that are native, 4 genera. Quite a few of those are endemics, meaning they only occur in Tasmania. And then it's got, I think it's got quite a few species of invasive Watsonia, which is South African. In South Africa, of course, is where the iris family is most diverse. It's the epicenter of diversity, but god damn it, look at that thing. But this genus, Isophysis, when the DNA was looked at, it was discovered that this is one of the most early branching. This is one of the most basal members of the family. So this lineage is a remnant of some of the earliest members to evolve of the irises. There's that rain again. You can't catch a break, you know. But again, knowing the weather here, I'll just post up here, you know, in my little orange jumpsuit and, you know, my little orange nightgown, wait for the weather to blow over. There we go. There's a more robust one. You can see that. That one's actually, it's about, I don't know, 10 inches off the ground. Look at those leaves, too. Those leaves are so damn showy. Who grows these? Does anyone grow these? They should be. Get all the water beating up around those 3 lobes of that stigma. Look at the juicy anthers, too. Look at the theca. Huh? Look at that. Like little bananas. 2 little bananas on each anther. Got a filament, too. Relatively long filament. Almost half as long as those anthers. God damn. And where are the nectaries at? You got nectaries in there? I can't even tell. There's so much water. It's so wet. Recurved petals. What pollinates this? Bird pollinated? Bug pollinated? Nice little sheathing bract at the base of that perianth too. See that petiole just coming out of that very eloquent pink sheathing bract. That's amazing. There's so many. There's so many of them. Some aren't that big. Where did you come from? Did you come from the Cretaceous? How old is the iris family? There's some really good papers on iris phylogeny and how evolutionarily old they are. But these, I mean, the leaves are just incredible too. Can you just, man, there's so many. And they're just coming up on this peaty ground. All right, which is, I think is mostly, oh look, there's a nice Drosera. I think the ground is mostly just this kind of peat. See those Drosera? Very nitrogen poor soil there. It's just this kind of peat that you could see it overlapping this quartzite here. It's just peat formed by the you know, generations of dead roots of the Gymnocoenus, the button grass right here. Plant 40 on this side's almost done too. Oh, see there? What I tell you, there's blue sky. I would give anything to see Antarctica 20 million years ago. I bet a lot of it was like this. You know, I bet it had this kind of vibe, you know, this kind of essence. Just rocky, cool, probably temperate rainforests down below. Billion-year-old ocean sediments covered by button grass root peat. It's such a beautiful, deep purple. Wonder if it was a Prince fan. No, it was Purple Rain. What was Deep Purple? Wasn't that a movie? I got to get my pop culture references right. I didn't even know Harry Styles was an actual fucking person a month ago when I made that lame-ass joke about Harry Styles. Literal Harry Styles in a flower. What does that say about me? I'm out of date. I'm getting old. God, such a juicy perianth. I love you. Look at the ovary on that too. Your typical 3-lobed iris fruit capsule. And look at that weather again. How about that, huh? Anyway, you got your Isophysis, and then right next to it, you got that Drosera. All right, another Drosera, another carnivorous plant, acquisitioning nitrogen via insects because that peat soil is so acidic and lacking in it. Thank God for the Bodega umbrella. You know, it'll give way at some point. This thing was probably made for 25 cents in China, but for now it's holding up and it's keeping the camera dry. The weather here is hilarious, man. Yeah, I mean, I knew it was going to be like this. I'm not surprised. You know, I'm not offended. Okay, I'm not going to go to the comments section, but fucking hell, you know, it's Tasmanian summer bash. Tasmanian summer bash. People are so kind here. I can't get over it, man. You know, from an American, I tell people, and you know, I tell people here too, like, do you know what a nut house it is in the United States? Look at that. I just can't get over those goddamn Isophysis, man. Sometimes they're pendant, sometimes they're pointing up. Such a cool plant. What does the Isophysis do to comp for the highly acidic peat that it seems to be growing in? Burnt peat. You can see those root systems of that Gymnoceanus, they take very well to burning. They're very adapted to fire. And it eased up for a little bit. Who doesn't need a little bit of freezing rain to keep you on your toes? Look at this guy. Tasmanian endemic eucalyptus. And they don't get much taller than that. That's it. Eucalyptus vernicosa. One of the smallest eucalypts. You think about those massive bastards that, Eucalyptus globulus and regnans that can rival the coast redwoods, the heights of the California coast redwoods. And you look at these guys growing in mountainous areas of Tasmania, on the island of Tasmania, topping out at the, I think they can get upwards of 3 feet, but I mean, that thing's almost being dwarfed by that inflorescence of the Bland 40 over there. It almost looks like a manzanita. But you got that thick lignotuber, that thick woody root, storing all the carbs, storing all the juice. All right, good adaptation to fire right there, and it does look like these burned. Get that woody lignotuber in the ground. Incredible. Look at that new growth coming out too. Oh, that's nice. That is real nice. What a cool genus. All right, intensely ectomycorrhizal as well. So what fungus is in the ground here? So elevation here is 2,700 feet, which is pretty high for Tasmania, especially at the relatively high latitude. Well, I guess we're at 43. It's not too high. High enough, though, that, in peak summer, you only get about 6 hours of darkness, if that. This is Boronia. This is a member of the genus Boronia, citrus family Rutaceae. Leaves smell incredible. 4 petals to those flowers. You see the filaments got some appendages to them, some little hairs. And again, those volatile oils, as it is in the citrus family, the roof family, Rutaceae, in the leaves. Incredibly species-rich genus in much of Australia. And again, the foliage on all the Boronias smells pretty incredible. A lot of them tend to have pink flowers. This one's got white. Look at that. They got a ranunculus here, too. Look at that. A buttercup. Family, of course, is Ranunculaceae. There's those leaves. Check out those leaves. All right, little divided bastards. You got a cauline leaf, and then there's that perianth. The buttercup family Ranunculaceae. All right, stamens on the centripetal stamens, and then in the center you got multiple styles going to multiple carpels. All right, so you've got an apocarpus. The carpels are distinct; they're not fused together. Maybe just at the bottom. Apocarpus ovary. An Apocarpus gynoecium, to be more specific. All right, one of the more basal members of the Eudicots, Ranunculaceae. All right, and there's Ranunculaceae. There's buttercups on. There were probably some in Antarctica back in the day. There's of course ubiquitous over throughout North America. You got the anemones. You got some really cool members in South Africa as well, and of course you got some here in Tasmania. So they've been around for a while. Look at that flower. I'm amazed how all these, it's been hailing, but all these flowers are still blooming. They seem to be relatively unaffected by the cold. Look at that. Look at this little quote-unquote grove of Eucalyptus vernicosa. That's hilarious. There's the fruits. Little woody capsules. Looks like they burned pretty well. Yeah, this whole population. With an understory of Isophysis. Oh, you got a schizea over there too. You got one of the little comb ferns. Oh yeah, how about that? It's a weird genus. Huh? The sporangia are in those little combs. It's a weird fern. Seen it, I think I saw it in South Africa too. Saw it in South Africa, New Caledonia. Not uncommon, but a weirdo. A really cool one. You can see that Eucalyptus vernicosa sprout from the base right there. Oh, and there's the sun. We're kind of getting tired of this schizophrenic weather. There's last year's fruit. See that little 3-lobed capsule? How about that? Just cracked open. This guy hasn't sent up a flower again. Not yet. There's one that they look like before that perianth opens. What a banger. And of course, again, you got that eucalypt, you got Agastaches odorata, Proteaceae over there. The button grass, Gymnocinus. The eucalypt is really something else. Oh, look at that, Stylidium and Graminifolium. Having a hard time getting going. Asterales is the order. This is the genus known as trigger plants. Too bad it's not going off because they're pretty fantastic when they are. All right, their stamens and style have been fused into something called a column, which acts like a little trigger. So you got the Thigmo nasty going on. Little motion-sensitive trigger that dappers the pollinators back with pollen, and then later on goes into a stigmatic phase and becomes receptive to pollen. All right, they can get like 3 feet tall too. Really cool. All right, very species-rich genus in Australia. Here, I believe there's only a couple species. Oh, that's nice right there. Look at that. Beautiful specimen. And the Isophysis is kind of becoming something of a dominant species here. There's quite a few of them. As we go further up, we're probably, I don't know, 3,100 feet right now. Quite a few of them. Look at that. Those glaucous blue leaves sticking out. Got that Herbertia over there. Some Blandfordia still right there. That Euc vernicosa. Here we go. Nice specimen of that Stylidium. See those 4 petals? And then you got a trigger at maybe it's a little too chilly for it. See, look at those little appendages you got at the base of the petals too. Could they be perhaps providing nectar? Look at that, just a whole carpet of Isophysis. Gotta watch where you step. And Dracophyllum milliganii. God, what an impressive flower. What a cool species too. What a cool taxon. Juicy anthers. Look at how juicy. Oh my God. The thecae look like they're ready to explode. How about that? Look at the little Knowltonia, that little ranunculus coming up against the backdrop of Eucalyptus vernicosa. Coming up against the backdrop of this lovely euc. Look at that, those stamens are just going off. Look at that, all yellow with the pollen. There's that Dracophyllum. God damn. Look at this. Okay, so we got a carrot right here. Okay, weird bastard of a carrot. Diplaspis cordifolia. Look at that umbel, spherical umbel. Cordifolia, because the leaves are heart-shaped. What a weirdo, so tiny. Coming up on the peat, next to a burned Agastaches. Well, now it's hailing again, and blowing and freezing, but I had to pull up that little carrot. I'll put it back. He's still got the roots on him. Look at that. Look at those little flowers. Look at that red celery-like stem with the slight striations on it. Orange anthers. And then I saw some that were, I don't know if the plants are dioecious or not, but I saw, these are obviously all staminate flowers from what I can tell. And then I saw some plants that had ovaries on them, you know? A bicarpellate ovary, as is common in Apiaceae, with the two little styles. And a stylopodium. Yeah, that Euc vernicosa is everywhere here. You can see how tall it gets. It's resprouting. It's about 4 feet. Wonder when that fire came through. A year or two ago, probably. Gotta be careful where I step so I don't crush any of these Isophysis. God damn. What an incredible plant. Basal member of the iris family. Been around for quite some time. Or at least the lineage has. God damn. Alright. When was the most recent common ancestor of Isophysis on Antarctica? 10 million years ago? 15? 20? Maybe a little bit more recent? There was Nothofagus growing along the coast of Antarctica up until about 3 million years ago. There's fossil pollen from that. This burnt stump of Eucalyptus vernicosa's got a little orange jelly fungus on it. How about it? And then higher up, we're treated to a little alpine rock garden with a variety of epacrids, members of Proteaceae, Got a nice euphrasia right there, Orobanchaceae. Look at that beautiful striate corolla right there. Nice Epacris. More Helichrysum. And the weather has blown over for now, meaning the next 10 minutes until it starts pissing again and freezing, and soon I won't even be able to move my hands. So, you know, there's a nice Uke. There's a Uke vernicosa. Look at that, topping out at 2 feet tall. That one didn't burn, it looks like. More Isophysis right there. What a great little spot. Look at that euphrasia too. God damn. Love these. Quite a few euphrasias. Quite a few members of this genus in Tasmania. We got Tetracarpea tasmanica. Not only an endemic genus, but an endemic family. All right. We saw this in 1 or 2 other places at high elevations. Look at that 4-loculed capsule fruit. But we didn't catch it in flower, right? And it's not flowering here. We're still too early. Distinct leaves, though. Member of the Saxifrage order, Saxifragales, and the whole family, I think it's a monotypic family, is endemic to Tasmania. What is that? Oh my God. What is that? Is that a lycophyte? Look at that thing. What the shit? Almost looks like a branch of Athrotaxis silaginoides. But it appears to be a lycopod. What the hell? That's pretty incredible. There you go. I guess that's what that would be. Look at that. This must be the sporophylls. The distinction in foliage. See that? Are these the sporophylls? Old sporophylls? There you go. There's another Epacrid, but this is actually in the genus Richia. It's not an Epacris because it's got those opercula. Operculum singular. A fused corolla that has to be removed to expose the stamens and style beneath. Alright, which is a trademark of the genus Richia. All the Richias do that. It's like I think that's the big key break between Richia and Dracophyllum. There you go. See that? Fused corollas. What's the adaptive benefit of that? Protection from the cold, protection from drying out. Maybe there's not one. But there is a little bit of nectar inside there. So that's why birds and skinks will pull those opercula off. And again, that weird ass foliage the members of the Epacrid subfamily of Ericaceae, the blueberry family, have down here. So cool. Here you go, nice little Ozothamnus. Another big genus here in Tasmania. Paper daisy tribe, Nephaliae, which should be obvious. Look at those papery phyllaries. Bright white abaxial surfaces too. Leaves that just whirl around the stem. Alright, doesn't get much taller than this. Alright, a foot max, often not even that. Here you see it growing amongst the rocks. Alright, getting blasted by the wind. And of course our old friend Astelia alpina. They call it, I think they call it pineapple grass. No relation to pineapples, aside from being a monocot. Order is Asparagales. And it's in the family Asteliaceae. Astelia is a genus that's very species rich in the southern hemisphere, especially in Australia. Bright white abaxial surfaces to those leaves. And there's areas where it just forms a mat. It's just a monoculture of Astelia alpina. Here you go, there's some maturing fruits on that carrot. See that? Looking like your typical carrot family fruit. 2 styles remnant against a biloculed ovary. 2 carpels. And there's a staminate flower. And there's that Helichrysum in flower. You can see what's going on. It's just a bunch of tiny, tiny florets ensconced within those ligulate-like, but very much not ligules, phyllaries. Ensconced in those papery phyllaries. Tiny flowers. All right, the florets of tribe Nephaliae are so incredibly tiny. Whereas the flower head and then much tinier flowers inside. Here you go, a quote-unquote forest of that dwarf uke. Eucalyptus vernicosa with some Dracophyllum milliganii and Isophysis sprinkled in. incredible. Look at it, topping out at 2 feet. All burnt. All burnt, and apparently not responding to the burn yet. Maybe it's just still too cold up here. It should be resprouting though. There you go. You got some resprouts right here from that lignotuber in the ground, but looks like some of them might have died. And just a whole shit ton of isophysis. Look at that. God damn it. So many of them. What a beautiful color. Again, that pink sheath. The pink sheath. That pink sheathing bract. 3 juicy stamens. A trilobed stigma. The purple perianth. Those tepals, man. God damn. Ah, what a cool plant. And then here at the margins of this Eucalyptus vernicosa population, we got a really cool monocot from a namesake family. This is Campanema. It's not coming up yet. We're still way too early for it. It should be up in a month. Campanema from the Campanema order Liliales. I believe there's only one other genus in this family, and it occurs on New Caledonia. Campanemanth, I think. I saw it next to Parasitaxis. Really weird plant. Had no idea what it was at the time. Put it on iNet, and it was identified as the other genus in this family. So it's it's occurring here in New Caledonia with that Gondwanan distribution. You can already tell it's a weirdo. So really cool lily-like flower. Looks like almost looks like one of the California fritillarias when it comes up, when it blooms. But again, we're about a month or two out. There you go. There's one. Got the bud just coming up. Too bad we won't get it in the vid, but now you can go look it up. You can go look it up online. All right, not too uncommon, Tasmania. I think we're at the eastern edge of its range here. It occurs in higher elevations in the southwest, primarily in the southwest. But really cool genus, really cool family in the order Liliales, the order of lilies. Campanema linearis. And it looks like a juicy lily leaf. Here you go. This one's pretty interesting. The genus here is the namesake of the tribe Salmiciinae, which is the tribe that Olearia is in, which is a very species-rich genus in the composite family. Many of them can form trees down here, such as Olearia argophylla. Anyway, this is the genus Salmicea. You can see it's not a paper daisy. It's not tribe Nephaliae. Those ligules are actual ligules, those white ligules. They're actual rays. You can see the 3 notches at the distal end right there, indicating that they are not just phyllaries that have been modified into floral attractants. Okay? Woolly involucre, many-serried involucre, multi-serried involucre. Got some leaves up the stem, got some cauline leaves. All right, intensely woolly. Looks like it's been wrapped in that Halloween decoration spiderweb stuff, that cobweb stuff. And a true distinction between disc florets and ligulate florets. See the centripetal ligulate florets, the ray flowers, and you got the true disc flowers with those big juicy yellow corollas right there. The 5 lobes. Okay, unlike Tridenthalia that just has disc flowers, no ligulate flowers. All right, and there's many of these species in New Zealand as well. All right, the genus Salmicea is quite large. There's the leaves right there, little basal rosette, linear leaves with just the slightest hint of epicuticular wax and lots of trichomes. You can see that wool, woolly indumentum. Look at that. Look at that. Every crack occupied. I guess this is the proper place for a send-off then. Yeah, Epacris impressa. Isophysis. This one just about to open up. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Have a good rest of your day. Go fuck yourself. Bye.